Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody that is in a connection that is definitely a little bit more advanced than just going on a couple of dates. You've probably had a conversation about whether or not you want to be in a committed relationship, although you may not be at that point yet. There is something here with regards to codependency that has caused a little bit of an obstacle or a problem, perhaps even an argument between the two of you. But I see there being a conversation that helps you navigate whatever these differences are and find a way to move forward. I do feel like this is one of those things that helps the two of you realize that there is probably a good chance that you could be happy together long term. So I feel like this is one of those moments that helps someone to decide whether or not they want to be in a long term commitment. All right, let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I think we will start with the Wild Reflections Tarot. What else do we have? Queen of Swords in the reverse, Four of Wands in the reverse, and the Page of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, so there's this disagreement, right? The Queen of Swords is in the reverse because things may have gotten a little bit uncomfortable, or you may have felt like a really good date night was a little bit like didn't end on the right note because of something that you two don't see eye to eye on. Maybe there's someone who's unwilling to change their behavior, but it feels to me more so like this is someone who might not realize that what they do is kind of frustrating. So without the conversation, it's not looking like things would be able to work out in a long-term relationship. But once you have this heart-to-heart conversation, then you're able to like iron out what's really going on. But it also makes clear to both of you that there's really no benefit in hiding whatever might be bothering you. If you want to have a healthy relationship, you've got to have a way to communicate about the things that need to change or, you know, are not working for you. Hello, Pat, how are you doing? Hello, Anna, how are you? I do not. We have the Devil in the reverse and the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Another 7. I think this is not necessarily easy to do as far as getting a little bit more vulnerable, but both parties seem to realize this is something that has to happen if, you know, we actually do want to move in, or if we actually want to be committed or exclusive, or, you know, whatever it might be. Yeah, this is definitely a block that has something to do with a person's stability. So it could be about finances. It could even be about, you know, your schedule is really difficult to deal with because you spend a lot of time with your, you know, brother or sister, or, you know, you work long hours. It's kind of unpredictable. There's something here that has to get addressed in this conversation that makes way for the relationship to go to the next level. And I do feel like both parties are interested in doing what they need to in order to achieve that. Hello, Leslie. How are you? Hello, Jose. Hello, Dark. No, thank you. Hello, Raymond. Thank you for the tip. When will I hear from Fabi? I hope I didn't say that horribly wrong. Thank you, Raymond. I've got you as the first question on my personal questions. I know you've been in the live chat, but just in case some of the folks out there don't know, I do those personal questions starting at about 30 minutes in after the general reading. Hello, Go. How are you doing? Hello, London. What's up? Hello, Abdul. From Finland. Okay, I have a question. If you're from Finland, I was told that the way you say like your boyfriend or girlfriend is loosely translated to the person that irritates me the least or something like that. I can't guarantee that it's accurate information, but that made me laugh a lot. Hello, Christopher. How are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I hope you can figure it out. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Steven. Hello, Shetty. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Joseph. Thank you. Hello, Mark. So we have the Ten of Wands in the reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Someone who feels like, yeah, it might be a little bit frustrating or uncomfortable to have this conversation. It could risk like an argument that I don't really want to have. But at the same time, there really seems to be no like walking around it. We're gonna have to like actually deal with this, which I think is a fairly healthy take on the matter, right? If you ignore it, it's probably just going to turn into a bigger problem. Hello, Auntie. How are you doing? That's faint. That's fair. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Huera? Thanks. We've got only you. If I know that I'm not interested in anybody else and I know that I want things to progress and get serious, maybe this person's thinking about marriage or family, then those obstacles that I encounter are really important to deal with, because I would hate for something to get out of control and then lead to us breaking up when I should just be able to deal with it now, right? Thank you for the gift. That's funny. Hello, MD. Ooh, I'm gonna have to delete that because I don't know what that says. Please translate it to English, please. So Mikey, if someone tells you that you have 7 major arcanas, that is indicative of major events in your life. So if you didn't pull very many cards beyond 7 and, you know, like the majority of them are major arcana, that would be saying you are faced with some pretty monumentous decisions in life, going through probably a change in your perspective, understanding yourself on a deeper level. Major arcana are those main things that you go through in life that help to define who you are. Hello, Brian. I'm not. I sleep really well at night. How about you? Hello, Ashe. How are you doing? Hello, Prem. Hello, Audie. Hello, Joshua. Please don't repeat your questions. I'm going to put you in just a little timeout. You're welcome to come back after 5 minutes. I don't answer personal questions during the general part, so you would want to be here around 30 minutes, and I do prioritize the questions from those who tip or donate. Now I'm doing the general reading right now. So we've got escaping and realizations. I think this is a time when perhaps it was kind of a habit for this person to walk away. So codependency, how does this impact this connection? It's a general reading, so it's going to vary depending on your situation and the person that you're dealing with, whether this is reading on you or more so them. But we've got somebody who tends to avoid issues, someone who may escape the more difficult things they go through by partying or, I don't know, starting fights with people. You can make fun of me, but there's a lot of people who spend time online trying to start fights. Hello, Salvador. How are you doing? Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Sahar. How are you doing? Thanks, Sunny. The thing is, we have somebody here who's saying, I know I have more things to learn, but I'm willing to like face that. I'm willing to put myself out there or be a bit vulnerable because this is somebody that I do see myself being with for the long term. Mistakes, influences. I know that in the past I have made the wrong choices with regards to relationships because of the influences that I had around me. So this could be kind of tying in with that like party influence. You know, maybe I have a habit of meeting my friends for happy hour and that can cause some drama. Maybe I have an over influential family member that gets in my business and tells me it's probably time to, you know, walk away from something when it really isn't. All right. This is the Bianco Nero. Hello, Sosa. Hello, Christopher. Please don't repeat your messages. I'm just going to put you in a little baby timeout. That's correct. Mimi, let me know if you'd like to be one. Totally understand if you don't want to, though. And I can't remember, did I already say I hope you're having a good day? I hope so. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Death in the reverse. And the Five of Cups in the reverse. I don't want to regret the loss of a relationship that's important to me because I was afraid to go through some of the, you know, maturing and personal growth that I need to. So even though it might be one of those things where I feel like, oh, I can procrastinate on that, I can wait on that. This person, the King of Pentacles, is looking at it as, no, I really need to make sure that I prioritize that. Because I know I'm dealing with somebody who would probably kick me to the curb if I don't. No, that's totally fair. I don't understand how it is from your side either because I haven't moderated. But it is a totally different experience as far as a creator when you're dealing with the phone versus the laptop. There are literally options that you don't have at all on the phone, which is weird. Whatever. I suppose all of the applications do that to some degree. We have the Four of Wands. This person's thinking long-term, like real long-term. They're thinking about what it would be like to live with you. This person feels like they're a better version of themselves around you. Like that you inspire the kind of action or help them to understand things in a better way. King of Wands. So this feels to me like you tell me what I need to do and I will do it. Not that, you know, they won't be able to come up with a plan, but this is just, you know, let's talk about it. What's not going well, what, you know, is, but if there's something that I can change that would make this connection feel, you know, a little bit more like closer, right? Then I'll do that. Because this is like, feel they're trying to stress that this is a relationship that's important to them. I don't want you to feel like I'm not prioritizing this, or I wouldn't want to make you feel like I don't listen to you. Muhammad. That's excessive, bro. Hello, how's it going, Kawa? Hello, Erin. I hope you find something to help with that. Hello, Josh. How are you? Hello, West Coast. Hello, Sergio. What are we doing down here? You want to explain yourself? If you want to say that kind of stuff, I'm going to block you. But Sergio, if you would like to be respectful and engage with some of the cool people in the live chat, you are welcome to hang out. Hello, Lyrical. Hello. Is it Soy? Thank you. We have the Five of Pentacles in the reverse and Judgment. I'm telling you, it's like, I acknowledge that sometimes there are things that maybe you'll see differently than I do, or maybe there are some things that I still have as a habit that I shouldn't do. You know, it could be something silly like I leave toothpaste stains in the sink and you hate it. Okay, if you hate that, then I will make sure that I, you know, clean that more regularly. That kind of thing. It's probably more serious than that, though. I'm glad you got some food. Hello, Saeed. How are you doing? Hello, Walter. Six of Cups in the reverse and the Five of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, they're not going to let this get in the way. For some of you, this could be someone who's agreeing to go to therapy. For others of you, this could be, no, I know what you mean. The ex is, you know, an issue and has been disrespectful, so I will block them or I will go no contact with them. There's a shift here, and it's after a conversation that helps someone to understand what their partner or the person they've been dating is feeling. All right, this is the situations deck. Did I not say hello to Coyote? Hello, Coyote. I hope you're having a good weekend. What else do we have? Escapade, hideaway, adventure, offer, on the table, roller coaster, highest high, and adrenaline rush. The truth is they want things to be official. For some of you, this person wants to take you on a trip. They may want to introduce you to the family. They may want to introduce you to their friends. They may want to have a romantic getaway. They may be, for some of you, talking about marriage or moving in. But this is like, I feel like I've been able to learn a lot about you, and it's confirmed that I want something serious. Hello, Matera. How are you doing? If you would like to come back tomorrow, that is just fine. But if you scan the live chat, I have to time you out, okay, hon? Hello, a person. I hope you're having a good day. We have poison, toxic, unhealthy behaviors and people, synchronicities, and lost, ghosted, blocked, cut off. I'm telling you, they've decided that if this friend is a bad influence, or if, you know, a family member needs to be told to kind of like back off a little bit, if there's someone who's interfering in your relationship, or a behavior that is interfering in your relationship, partying too much, for example, they're willing to change it. They're ending it, and they're serious about it. It's not just like, I'm going to try, and then they, you know, go back to the same thing again. They're committed to it. Financial support, child, alimony, government. Meeting two or more people, discussions, planning, and past happened. All right, so this feels to me like a dating situation that is happening with someone who has co-parenting or like an overly involved ex. And because of the things that have happened in the past, granted it could be a family member that's, you know, meddling. Whatever has happened in the past, this is like, we're not going to allow that to happen again. This has caused an argument, or this has, you know, been disruptive, disrespectful. So how do we make sure that that doesn't happen again? It could be someone leveraging a child they're co-parenting to try to be a little bit petty. It could be messing with someone's finances, since that card does start with financial support. But we've got someone saying, look, we got to address this, and if we can figure that out, then things will be a lot less dramatic. All right, this is the Soul Cat Tarot. Hey, Capo, how you doing? Hello, Tay. I'm glad to hear that a person. I sure hope so, Kashan. Hello, Abdul. Hello, Holy Ghost. We have the Seven of Wands. And the Lovers in the reverse. I think we have a person who is trying to get these two to argue. Someone who is trying to get this relationship to be a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. Someone who's jealous, like an ex. Someone who's controlling or just, wants more time or energy. Like a parent who expects a little bit more effort or assistance, perhaps. Thank you, Josh. All right, the Gemini. That's exciting. Feel connection. Will it be a good idea to meet? I got you added to the list, Joshua. Thank you for the tip. Hello, Nat. If it's not your thing, that's totally fine. I still hope you have a wonderful day. Hello, Hunt. How's it going? Okay, I'm gonna assume that one's for you because the cat looks like, to me anyways, like antlers. I know it's feathers. This is saying yes to the communication with the Knight of Swords. Reach out to the old girlfriend. But with, presumably there's like a different approach or perspective, right? Aw, all right. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hello, Mantra, how are you doing? Hello, Chris. Ooh, I'm gonna put you in just a little bit of a timeout. Please don't spam the live chat. So we have the Nine of Swords, which is about anxiety. We have someone who's nervous that, maybe it's been enough to cause this person to feel like they should walk away from me. But if I make it clear that I know what to do, and maybe I've already done it, or I'm already in the process of doing that, then maybe we don't have to have this argument turn into a bigger thing, right? You too, Messenger. I would just ask you to please be respectful of everyone's ability to believe in what they believe in. Otherwise, we do time people out for that, okay? Knight of Pentacles. Page of Swords in the reverse. I think whoever is the Empress, this would be the person that is not so much under pressure in this relationship, but hopeful that things are working out and perhaps a little bit concerned about a third party. They're not the one who's doing all of the work, right? They are wondering, observing the details, seeing how things are communicated. Is it possible to make this work? Is this too much of a problem? Have I assumed something that I shouldn't have, Oh, I'm glad to hear that that has gone well. Yeah, I'm just gonna put you in a little timeout. I don't disagree with you, but I'm not sure if you are, you know, here for the right reasons. Hello. Is it Angie? I start the personal questions about 30 minutes in, with priority to those who tip or donate. Lorena, I don't disagree with that, but please be respectful of others' beliefs, okay? Two of Swords, Three of Swords in the reverse, Nine of Wands in the reverse. Put down the walls or the like protective walls that they put up to make sure that someone didn't get to know them as well. Acknowledge that this is somebody that is willing to work with you. Show that there's been some healing or some forward movement, some personal growth here. And then with this Two of Swords, it's like, and then we'll figure it out. We can make a decision. You'll have all the information that you need, but I want you to see and like be aware of the fact that I'm putting an effort to address the things that have been difficult. Six of Wands in the reverse. I want to let you know that I blocked that person, the one who was making our relationship more difficult, either because they were jealous or, I don't know, just manipulative, mean, perhaps. Sometimes people just have a bad day and they take it out on other people, right? This feels more like a concerted effort to try to make this relationship difficult, like someone was competing for time. All right, let's see. We'll go with the Pause Tarot. Hello, Cherry. How are you doing? Hi, Angie. Please do not repeat messages. Hello, Gazelle. How are you doing? You know, did I pick one up? All right, both of them then. Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. The Two of Pentacles is in the reverse because someone was creating an imbalance, that third party, making someone worried about whether or not there were always going to be arguments or concerns or scheduling conflicts. But now that this has been addressed, now that there are perhaps boundaries in place, we have someone who feels much more comfortable saying, I know what I want, and what I want is for us to take the relationship to the next level. Oh, I hope things get better for you, Stacy. Hello, Rudy. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to add that one for you, Rudy. And we'll see if that works out for you. Money next month in business. You said in the next month? Or next month, okay. So Rudy, if this is your first time here, I start those personal questions at about 30 minutes. I do have two people in front of you, Raymond and then Josh, and then I will do your question in case you have to come back. Hey y'all, I really don't mind your religious beliefs. I really don't, but I'm gonna ask you all to please keep that to a little bit more of a respectful level. I don't know. Interact with people. If that's the only thing that you're going to say, then it kind of comes across like you're judging people. That's true. Hello, Manav. How are you doing? Hello, Brandon. What's up? We have the Hierophant in the reverse. An unconventional approach. Okay, that makes sense. So remember we had the vacation escapade card. I feel like someone is assessing the situation, setting up some boundaries, communicating, hey, you need to be more respectful of my date night, or I need you to communicate better with regards to when we're dropping off kids and stuff. Because I feel like someone's manipulating the time and making it so this person has to cancel, or making it so this relationship is kind of not doing well because of the other things that make it difficult to be on time or give that availability, right? So we have somebody who's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm requesting time off. I'm telling everyone I'm gone. I'm going to turn off my phone. Everything's going to work out exactly fine. I have a backup plan, but I'm going out of town. I'm not going to be anywhere near these people who've been causing some trouble. And that's when I can finally approach being in a more serious relationship, whether that's, you know, the title, or, you know, moving in, or actually like talking about marriage. We have somebody who's saying, I'm not going to do any kind of planning that is easy for other people to mess with. I'm gonna go big or go home, you know? Thank you. Hello, yo, how are you doing? Hello, August, what's up? Realistically speaking, I own way more Iowa Hawkeye gear. If I'm gonna root for football, it's probably college football. Iowa has a special place in my heart. It's, yeah. But, you know, the Titans. I got this shirt because I knew it was probably a good thing to have. Something a little bit more local. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Welcome. All right, Seven of Swords in the reverse with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse and the Hermit. I know what has been causing the problems. I'm not going to give someone the benefit of the doubt, or I'm not going to give them the information so that they could actually sabotage this. I'm going to be very, like, spontaneous or secretive. People don't need to know where I'm going. And then no one can mess with our plans, and I won't be late, and we'll have a great time. So that's where this person's at. This is the Gilded Reverie. And after this, we will start with those personal questions, okay? Yep. Hello, Richard. How's it going? Hello. How's it going, Redbeard? So we have some repeating of questions going on, Manav. I'm going to put you in just a little bit of a timeout. Please remember not to repeat your messages. All right, so we've got the clouds. This talks about ambiguity, trying to figure things out. This is why the conversation is necessary, right? I don't understand. Why is it always such a challenge to find a time to hang out? Why does it feel like a battle? This person decides to level up, take control of the situation. This is somebody who is, you know, causing a problem in my relationship, so I need to talk to them, establish some boundaries, and then talk to the person that I want to be in a relationship with and make sure we're all good, right? Very responsible and respectful approach to the situation. So high five to the King of Wands. Remember, the King of Wands does not need to be a man. They did come out as the King of Pentacles previously as well, but that makes sense to me because this is somebody who's thinking about, if I want long-term with someone, then I have to be willing to address the things that stand in my way, right? So I feel like there's two difficult conversations that they have to do. One being, hey, you and I need to talk about boundaries. You're getting in the way of my relationship, or I don't like how you've been talking to my person, or you're too demanding of my time. And then the other conversation is talking to the love interest and saying, here's how things are going to change. Here's what I've done to address the problems that we've had thus far with that third party. And I do feel like it has to do with like maybe being really close proximity to each other. Maybe they work together. Maybe you live, you know, a street away. But this is like, hey, even if it's super easy for you to just like stop by because you need like a cup of milk or something, be really cool if you could like text first, you know, that kind of thing. So we have somebody who's willing to take a chance on this relationship because they see that their person is absolutely communicating about it in a respectful way, but also taking action and dealing with the other, that third party in an appropriate way. All right. Let's see what we've got for Raymond. We've got, the question is, when will I hear from Bobby? For Raymond, when will Raymond hear from Bobby? Eight of Wands in the reverse. Sorry, Eight of Swords in the reverse, and the Eight of Wands in the upright. There's something that is changing perspective-wise for this person, and that has to take place before they're ready to communicate. It's like, then I feel like I have the confidence to pursue something. Two of Cups, to, you know, talk about what needs to be addressed. Two of Wands. I feel like this person's already planning. So about how much time? Empress in the reverse. I would say by March. I know that's not like around the corner, but I think that this is someone who's going through some healing with regards to relationships that have been very unhealthy, including perhaps with family or friends. But I do feel like this person's already like thinking, what would I say when I reach out? How would that go? Thank you, Mantra. Will I get government job in India? I've got that written down for you, and we're gonna move on to Josh. Mantra, you would be third up right now. So I've got Josh, Rudy, and then you. Hello, Found. How are you doing? Well, she's got love on her mind. But being that this is in March, there are definitely some opportunities for the what will I say element to change. But we've got Four of Wands in the reverse. There's instability that I feel like she's addressing. Could also be about a living situation. Queen of Wands. Yeah, I feel like when she comes through to talk to you, it will be to see whether or not there's still a possibility. It might not be coming right out and saying, are you single and do you still like me? But I do feel like there's going to be like some feelers put out, like what are you thinking? You know, that kind of thing. But I do think it takes a little while to get there. Josh, the Gemini that you are thinking about meeting, is this a good idea? Is it a good idea to meet the Gemini? Yes. Why the Fool in the reverse? This person's going to remind you of someone else you know, or maybe already does. I do feel like the two of you are attracted to each other, or would be. You know, like you can be before you meet, but then when you meet in person, it's like, well, are you really? Nine of Cups in the reverse, Four of Wands in the reverse. Oh, Four of Swords in the reverse. Look, there's something here that is not aligned in terms of your approach to relationships. So there is something here that someone would have to change. Now, this could be on your side or it could be on the Gemini's side. But it could be got a little bit of a need for an ego death. Or there's you know, like somebody loves cats and the other person doesn't. Someone likes to stay up really late and the other person's a morning person. There's a shift that could happen where the two of you are kind of more aligned, but right now there's something that's a little bit off. But yes, I do think you would enjoy meeting this person. Is it like happily ever after? It's kind of to be determined based on whether or not this change happens. Sounds good, Vishal. Hello, Marcia. How are you doing? Hello, Diego. Please be respectful or I'll time you out, okay? I'm going to switch to a different tarot deck for Rudy. We'll go with the Tarot of the Nile. So for Rudy, we've got, will there be some money made next month in the business? Will there be good news for Rudy regarding the business next month, money making wise? Yes. There's something that requires you to get out of your comfort zone, and this makes all the difference. It could be marketing that you hate doing. It could be talking to people you don't really like, or talking to people at all. I've been there. There's something here that you do in the next, I feel like, 2 weeks. And when you do this thing, you might grumble or complain the entire time, but it makes so much difference. So if you're contemplating doing something or like trying to decide, is it worth it for me to, you know, advertise at this event or something like that, there is something here that you're going to grumble about, but it is going to pay off for you. Hello, Farkas. How are you doing? Hello, Saran. How are you doing? Rudy, I'm sending you abundant energy. I hope things go well for you. And for Vishal or Mantra, we've got, will I get a government job? Yes. There is an expertise or a sense of understanding that sets you apart from others. With the Three of Cups, I do feel like this is going to be one of those things where you meet somebody who's important to the rest of your career or influences it. We do have somebody who may leave just after you get there, and that could kind of make things a little bit interesting for you. This looks to me like a premature promotion. Promotions are generally amazing, but I feel like there's like this desperate moment where someone's like, do you want to like take over this? And it's not what you want. Tell them you don't want that. Or that's not the direction I'm looking to go. Or I don't have the ability to take over that person's workload. There's something here where you can kind of say, no, thanks. And wait for the right time instead. Hello, Sarita. Is Sarita closer to, well, let's make sure that question is a little bit more, if you don't mind. Will this abundance start to flow to Sarita by the end of the year? It'll start next year. It really gets going in August of next year. There's something here that you need to do in order to make this work out. It's a decision you make to change things in your life for the better. And sorry, I'm trying to see if I can see your question. It isn't necessarily about more manifestation energy. It's about something that you need to let go of. So you may be focusing on the output when really you're trying to draw something in when you need to let go of something in order to draw that thing in. Kind of like You can't pull in a car into the garage if there's already one in there. You would have to take that car out first, and then you could park that car in the garage. That's the way I'm seeing it. So there's something here that needs to be let go of. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. And I will see you in the next reading.